We are just across the Allegheny River from downtown Pittsburgh at rain-soaked Heinz Field in the Steel City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Buffalo Bills and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Ready? 70, Indy.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
Now.
On first down, Floyd. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. A good start offensively. 15 yards on the game's initial play. And we see the emphasis early here. Get your star receiver involved, able to do it successfully.
Not a bad start to begin with, that's for sure. And to me, this play says our guy is better than your guy's. Because, you know, a player of his stature, he won't just be single covered all game long. It's going to involve multiple people. And right away, they told the other team, guess what? He's just better. Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback. And no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Ready.
2nd and 3. He'll get this one into the hands of Lewis. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Operating from the gun, Floyd. That's complete to his running back counter. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and bond. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against him.
45-yard line. That's sacked by Tremaine Edmonds. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
Looking to throw. Floyd. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Ready?
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
58, Mike. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen. 58's the Mike.
From the gun, Floyd. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he's got a first down as a tackle made at the Bills' 31-yard line.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there, and he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
Ready.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory, down at the 31.
Greystone, travel.
Mike, 44. Got to do better.
Operating from the gun, Floyd under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Matt Milano in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
You get it.
Back to throw. Floyd. And he connects with Vance McDonald. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it. One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. No touchdown there, but if that first drive is any indication, looks like they're going to have a pretty good day passing the football.
I would say confidence would have to be pretty high after that first drive, able to throw it almost at will. You're exactly right. They didn't get the touchdown, but 3 points serves as a nice notice about how this offense is going to move.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one taken from the 7.
Let's go!
At their own 28-yard line.
Take a step. Take a step, ready?
They'll run for the first time with Sony Michel. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up, because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Michel looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
And it brings up 3rd down.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Gun.
Hey, check Mike 50. Mike is a 50. Check Mike 50.
A shotgun snap for Newton. It's caught. Jones. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. Give him 18 on that one, as the Bills are going to have a first down.
Ready.
Great.
Great.
Hey, Mike 50. Mike 50. Mike 50. Free bud.
Flash.
50. Mike 50. Mike 50. And watch that. And watch the block. Here we go.
Ready.
On 1st and 10, Newton. And incomplete, he dropped it. Maybe a rookie mistake there. 2nd down.
Well, he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw again. Newton. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 31-yard line.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10. Down at the 31. Throwing again is Newton. Jones has it. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. In for the score. And the Bills have taken the lead. Stephen Hauschka for the point after. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas,
yeah,
right?
A little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting off field and giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Hey, let's get there.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
On 1st and 10 is Connor. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. James Washington was the intended target, and that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
Go, go. 44's Mike. Check, check. Bring it. Bring it. Let's go.
From the gun, Floyd. And he finds McDonald. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A big 30-yard play on 3rd.
That's a real nice job right there, working the middle of the field, working against those safeties. And you know, partner, if you get your hips turned the wrong way, big plays can result.
And a big play resulted right there. Throwing on 1st down. Floyd sets up the screen to Lewis. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on 1st down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
The Steelers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Mike, 44. What we got? What we got? 5.
Operating from the gun. Floyd, nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game.
A 59-yard attempt.
And an alley to run. Look at across middle of the field, a breakaway. And he will score. Touchdown, Buffalo. As his guys are in for 6. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Now Hausch can attack on the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game.
Makes the score Bills 14, Steelers 3.
Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This will be fielded at the 8. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line.
Ready, break.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Let's make these babies cry. Get it.
They'll look to run with Connor. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
To me, that's a terrific run on 1st and goal at the 3. They got 2 yards. I'd line right back up and give it to him again.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal.
Exit, exit. Kill.
Hey, lock it.
Kill.
They'll try to run it. This is Connor. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably doing play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
And no hesitation about this decision here. Confidently, they're going to go for this. 4th and goal from the 3.
Mike spoke. Hey, we got to get this stop here, dude.
On 4th down, Floyd. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. James Washington, his 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys are back within a single score. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and that makes it a 14-10 ball game. The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, get the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Newton to Michelle on the screen. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
First down, Bills.
Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds.
It appears they found something that's working, and they keep going back to it. I guess you can actually say he has the hot hands now, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, it's one thing to hit your guy out of the backfield once, hit him a couple times. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they're onto something.
And I think a lot of that is simply, if you get it to him in space, more times than not, he's going to get more yardage than you expect out of each play.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. A give to Michelle running right. Spins away, and he's taken down inside the 30. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
On first down, it's Newton. And his throw here's incomplete. Antonio Callaway, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined. But sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Throwing again. Newton. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's a pickup of 17 on that one, and a Bills first down.
And the Bills first down.
Mike, here we go. 180. 55.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Off the draw, here's Michelle. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. From the gun, they run with Michelle. And he's going to ball his way down to about the 1-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation. And he takes it in across the chalk for a Bills touchdown. Cam Newton with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Bills will add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
This one taken from the 7.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Right over there, right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there. Let's go.
Ready?
To throw again. Floyd. He's going to rifle one deep left side. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. Ryan Switzer, the intended target. 3rd down here.
Brings up 3rd down and 10.
On the ready.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10.
3 down, 3 down. 58's the Mike. 58's the Mike. Too little, tap. Hey, 58 is a Mike. Go 58. Let's go.
From the gun, Floyd. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
Intended for Juju Smith-Schuster. It's now 4th down.
The Steelers send out their punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Newton now to throw. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that, first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Newton. And he comes back with one complete. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 26. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Tighten up. Pull it together.
Now a first down throw for Newton. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Back to throw, Newton. He's able to find Wallace. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Now from the 9, here's second and goal. Newton now to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
Got it.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
This quarterback now 12 of 17 through the air as he leads his guys up on first down. Looking to throw. Floyd. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. And that'll make it third down. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
On third down, Floyd. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. This is taken at about the 14. It's a 39-yard punt, 8 on the return, and the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Brings up second and 11 at the 21-yard line.
After the loss to start out, here's second and 11. Eight yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And Pittsburgh with 6 defensive backs in the game here on 3rd down. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. He'll give up 6 yards there on the loss, and it'll bring up 4th down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over.
60 Pittsburgh.
2 times.
Get.
On 1st down, it's Connor. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. They'll get that one complete to Connor.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Floyd. He's got Lewis. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Connor on the toss play. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. James Conner with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Steelers are able to close the gap just a bit.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. He'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And they've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that. But the rushing game, almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to...
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they come together.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Mike Gesicki, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bills will add on to their lead.
As more and more up-tempo football creeps into the NFL game, some coaches don't think time of possession matters anymore. I believe we found one of them.
Hauschka with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This one taken from the 7. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace.
And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. Ed Oliver coming right up the gut, gets in there for a loss of 9. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
58, right over there, right over there.
Back to throw. Floyd. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
It's now 3rd and 19.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
You ain't doing nothing today.
From the gun, Floyd. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. Well, that's how you convert on 3rd down with an explosive gain of 34. So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 45-yard line. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's the Steelers with the football, but trailing here as we get going in quarter number 4.
Alert 3, alert 3, alert 3.
They'll run on 1st down. Connor, and he's got some space here. The 20. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. James Conner, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Steelers are able to cut into that deficit. Boswell good with the extra point. And that'll make this now an 11-point deficit. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
At the 36-yard line.
Ready.
We go. Watch that in. Watch that in.
On 2nd and 9, Newton. He completes it to Jones. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the 1st there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a 1st down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
On 1st and 10, Floyd, he'll get this one to Switzer. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10.
58, right over there, yeah. Mike, 55.
Operating from the gun, Floyd. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. It's a Pittsburgh 1st down, a gain of 13. Decent start to the drive there. Of course, they need the touchdown, 2-point conversion, and a field goal.
Yeah, those guys are into it. How about the guys on the sideline? You see the coaches signaling, all the personnel groups up on the sideline, ready to go in and out of the game. They've got to condense their time now in order to try and get back into it.
Looking to throw. Floyd, complete. This is Lewis. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
A gain of 2 brings up 3rd and 2.
The Steelers on 3rd down. Not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Back to throw. Floyd. Open man. Smith-Schuster. It's complete. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Juju Smith-Schuster. His 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion. From the gun, Floyd. He'll get this one into the hands of Lewis. And he'll get into the end zone as the 2-point conversion is successful. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Newton. Caught by Jones. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. 15 yards that time, and a Buffalo first. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll be 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
On 2nd down, Michelle. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
A 1st down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 41-yard line.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll run with Michelle. Oh, no, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
Well, partner, here's where team football gets tested a little bit, because I know the defensive guys were over there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden they heard the sudden change call because that fumble puts them right back on the field, and they've got to go out and finish the game now themselves.
Absolutely. Nursing that slim lead here in the 4th, a costly turnover. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Following the fumble recovery, Floyd throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. To throw again. Floyd caught right side. It's Lewis. They'll give him a yard on the play. And just like that, it's 3rd down. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They face a critical 3rd down now, needing a score here in the late going. Off the play fake. Floyd. But it's brought in by Washington. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion.
Ready? 15, Lonnie. 15 line.
Double dog. That's the way.
From the gun, a give to Connor. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 12 yards that time, but a Pittsburgh first.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And yes, complete to the tight end, McDonald. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a 1st down again.
This defense needs a big play in the worst way because so far, they're not putting up much of a fight. If they don't get a stop here soon, this game could be over for them.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. They'll run here with Connor. Now a flag comes in from the umpire after a gain of about 4. And this looks like it's going to be holding. So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. If they didn't have that penalty a moment ago, it'd be a 1st down. Still a nice 13-yard pickup. Again, it'll be Connor. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow. I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. One possession game. Time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's countering.
And he's across for the touchdown, and it's likely the game winner here in the closing stages.
How many people are watching this one right here who gave up? Because that score, they might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
Yeah, what looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one, because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
Hauschka adds the extra point, and it would appear, barring some late heroics, they're going to get out of here with a come-from-behind victory. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary. But you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
We'll see if they can do it. Might be easier said than done. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
Hey, Orville.
49's the money. 49's the money. Watch the out. Watch the out. 49, guys. Mike, 49. Watch the backer. Watch the backer.
Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
49's the mic. Watch 49. Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together. 49's the mic. 49's the mic. I know he ain't got it. 49. Let's go.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And that is going to seal this victory as time runs out. Well, we were on hand for a fun and entertaining game here, coming down really to that last play. Great job defensively to get the pick and seal it.
And we know that every play during a game matters. You're never sure which one's going to be one of the key ones. But at the end of the game, when you analyze it, 3, 4, 5 plays are going to be the ones you focus on. And that last play was one of them. The last shot had to take it, and they came up with the interception and sealed their victory.
So for Buffalo, the win gets them back over 500 at 5-4 on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, their season is on life support somewhat now at 3-6. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.